Amara's salon stood on a bustling street in the center of Aluna town, a cozy building decorated with vivid posters of women showcasing stunning braids and stylish weaves. The scent of various hair products and the gentle hum of conversation filled the air, making this salon a favorite spot for women to gather and unwind. Inside there was always a line of customers waiting patiently, all hoping for a session with Amara's aunt, Auntie Tumi, the most sought-after stylist in the region. For years Auntie Tumi had worked her magic on all types of hair, curly, coarse, thick, or fine. As soon as her fingers touched a client's scalp, a transformation began. Her hands moved with the precision of an artist, twisting, parting, and braiding with ease, creating intricate patterns that seemed to defy what hair was meant to do. Her reputation spread quickly. Women from nearby towns, and even some from far-off places, came to sit in her chair, leaving the salon in awe of the new person staring back at them in the mirror. But Amara's success wasn't solely a result of Auntie Tumi's skill. Behind the scenes there was a hidden secret, one woven into the very foundation of their thriving business. Every time Auntie Tumi ran her comb through a client's hair, untangling and smoothing, she would quietly collect the stray strands. With practiced ease, she'd sweep them aside without anyone noticing, discreetly tucking them away. At the end of each day, when Amara's salon was finally silent and the last customer had left, Amara would sweep the floor with great care. The stray hairs that had fallen during the day's work, each strand was precious to her. To her clients, it was nothing but discarded strands, the remnants of a day's styling. But to Amara, this hair held unimaginable value. Once she returned home, she followed a secret ritual, one that had been taught to her many years ago by an enigmatic healer. This healer had shown her how to transform the energy of each collected hair into something far more powerful. Every night, she would place the gathered strands into a pot of water. But this wasn't just ordinary water. It was prepared with a special blend of herbs and ingredients, using an ancient recipe passed down through generations. As the hair boiled, the steam rising from the pot filled her small kitchen with a strange lingering scent, one that clung to the air long after the pot cooled. This ritual wasn't just about the hair, it was a deeply spiritual process that connected Amara to something greater. Once the hair was boiled, she would use the water for cooking her evening meal. The healer had instructed her carefully. The power lay in consuming this magic-infused water. With each bite of her dinner, Amara felt herself grow stronger, not physically but spiritually. This ritual was the secret to her success. Each time she performed it, more clients would return, bringing new ones with them. It wasn't just that they admired Amara's work. Her clients felt an inexplicable pull toward her salon, as if some invisible force was drawing them in. Her hands, now infused with the power of the nightly ritual, moved with even more grace and speed, crafting styles that grew more breathtaking with each passing week. As her clients left, thrilled with their transformations, Amara's reputation soared, but she knew it wasn't just skill, it was the dark magic quietly fueling her rise in the hairstyling world. Initially, Amara had been reluctant. The thought of boiling someone's discarded hair and using that same water to cook her food had seemed disgusting. But once she saw her business flourish, women from all around came flocking to her salon, waiting patiently for hours just to feel her touch. She became addicted to the ritual, performing it nightly without fail. Her success soon became the envy of every stylist in Aluna town. But she reassured herself, what they don't know won't hurt them. Over the years, Amara's salon grew into a local legend. Mothers brought their daughters to her. Young women came before their most important events. Even older women sought her magic, hoping to recapture their youthful glow. Everything seemed flawless until one fateful day. Rena, a loyal client, entered Amara's salon. Rena, a striking woman in her early 30s with thick, flowing hair that cascaded down her back, smiled warmly as she sat down in the styling chair. "Amara, I need your magic today," Rena said with a playful grin. "I'm attending a wedding and I need to be the center of attention." Amara chuckled. "You know I always deliver, Rena. By the time I'm done, they'll be asking if you're the bride." They laughed together as Amara began her work. Her fingers moved swiftly through Rena's hair, braiding with precision, pulling each strand tight, and locking them into perfect rows. Rena relaxed into the chair, fully trusting Amara. When Amara finished, Rena looked in the mirror and gasped. "Ah, Amara, you've done it again?" She tilted her head from side to side, admiring her new look. "It's beautiful," she said, beaming. Amara stepped back, satisfied with her work. But as Rena stood up, something unexpected happened. She began to pick up the small hairs that had fallen to the floor during the styling. Amara's heart skipped a beat. "Oh, no need to worry about that," Amara said, trying to keep her voice calm. I'll sweep it up for you. Rena shook her head. No, Amara, I read somewhere that it's bad luck to leave your hair behind. I like to keep it just in case. No, 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 Amara said, her voice betraying a hint of panic. She reached out to stop Rena, but Rena had already started gathering the hairs from the floor. Rena turned to her with a frown. Amara, what's wrong? It's just my hair. I'll take care of it, Amara said, her hands trembling slightly. Please, Rena, just leave it. You must leave it, Amara insisted, her voice tinged with desperation. But Rena was undeterred. She picked up the hair from the floor, even reaching for the strands still caught in the comb Amara had used. She tucked the hair into her bag, oblivious to the growing panic in Amara's eyes. Amara could hardly contain her terror. She tried to say something but no words would come. She watched helplessly as Rena gathered all the hair and left the salon, giving a casual wave. Thanks, Amara. I'll see you again soon. As soon as Rena was gone, Amara collapsed into a chair, her whole body trembling. With shaky hands she grabbed her phone and quickly dialed her healer's number. Hello, came the voice on the other end. Baba, something terrible has happened. Amara cried into the phone. A client took her hair, she took it all, Baba. What do I do? There was a pause on the line, and then Amara heard the healer's deep sigh. I warned you, didn't I? He said in a grave tone. I told you no customer must leave with their hair. I know, Amara sobbed. But, is there nothing we can do? Please, Baba, help me. But the healer's voice was cold. There is no remedy, Amara. The consequences will come, and there is nothing I can do to stop them. Please. The call ended abruptly, leaving Amara in stunned silence. She stared at her phone, tears streaming down her face. She had played with forces beyond her control, and now the time had come to pay the price. That night, as Amara lay in bed, she began to feel a strange sensation in her hands. It started as a dull ache, but soon, her fingers began to swell, growing larger and larger until they were unrecognizable. She screamed in terror, clutching her hands as the swelling worsened. She rushed to the hospital the next morning, but the doctors were baffled. They ran test after test, but no one could explain what was happening to Amara. Weeks went by and the swelling only grew worse. Her hands became useless, swelling to the point where she could no longer hold a comb, let alone towel hair. Then the maggots came. They crawled out from beneath her skin, writhing and squirming as they ate away at her flesh. The sight of them sent Amara into hysterics, but no amount of screaming or crying could stop the horror that was unfolding. Months passed and Amara's condition deteriorated. Her once glorious hands, the hands that had brought her so much success, were now a source of endless pain and suffering. She could no longer bear the agony, and eventually her body gave out. Amara died alone, her once booming hair salon now abandoned. The women who had once flocked to her for her magic had long since forgotten her name, and the story of the hairstylist who had played with dark forces became nothing more than a cautionary tale whispered among the people. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this video. I would like to know the country you are watching this from.